Alright everybody, welcome back to my video series on games that time has forgotten. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. This month I'm going to be talking about a GameCube title with an interesting product tie-in. Let's get started. The GameCube is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated systems of its time, being home to many unique and amazing titles. Darkened Skye is not one of them. It's a good title, don't get me wrong, just a bit above average though, but this game has a little secret. Now, before I get into that, let me go over the development of the game. It was released in January of 2002 on PC before getting a port on the GameCube on November of that same year. It was developed by Boston Animation with Simon & Schuster Interactive taking publishing duty. So this is a game some out there call the Skittles game. That is because the actual Skittles candy is used by the protagonist to perform magic. In fact, the entire storyline revolves around the candy. But if you weren't familiar with the game or its premise, you would have no idea it was used as a product placement for Skittles, since the box right here mentions nothing about the candy at all, either the front or the back. But product placement or the use of mascots from soft drinks or edibles is nothing new. This goes back all the way to 1983, when games like Tapper, Chase the Chuck Wagon, and Kool-Aid Man were released to the masses.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
The creation of this game came about as Simon & Schuster Interactive was trying to grab the rights to publish an M&M game, yet they also got the rights to the Skittles candy as a backup. Even though they did publish an M&M game for the PS1, which you see right here, they also went ahead and published this title a few years later. I also read someplace online that the developers felt that they had a good enough game on its own and downplayed the Skittle content a bit from the original plan. But how accurate is this information? I can't really say. The plot of the story was handed over to the Mars Corporation for approval and requested very little to be changed or altered from the final script. They also requested no excessive violence and no snakes. What? What the heck? Really? Snakes? They're such beautiful and peaceful creatures. No snakes in the game. Got it. The story of the game revolves around Skye here. She is joined by a goblin named Drac, who is voiced by Rob Pruitt, and both have done tons of work in the voice acting community over the years.
Oh, easy, sister. I'm on your side.
My side? Who are you?
Call me Drac, though Necroth would call me Dim Sum right about now.
So she finds this orange artifact here, which turns out to be a Skittle, and all hell breaks loose. Necroth, the bad guy, sends his minions out to get her, and the story begins right here. As you progress, you will come across other colored Skittles, and by combining two different colored ones, you can perform specific magic to help you along the way. The menu here will show you which magic to select, and also gives a brief description as to what the spell does. You will also have access to many other items like keys, potions, and bombs, just to name a few. Her main weapon, however, is her staff. And the controls and fighting mechanics here are as bare and minimum as they can get. Don't expect well-timed combos and counter maneuvers of any type. You just smash away the button until everything in front of you is dead. Does Drac help? Nope. Right away in the beginning, you will realize one major flaw that this game has. No map. I'm sorry, was this game made in 2002 or 1982? Pretty sure maps have been done before. I looked for one. Nope. None whatsoever. Of course not. Maps are, what, overrated? Who needs them? Oh my god, where do I go? You got two bars right here at the bottom, one for health and the other for magic. The magic one replenishes its own over time. Your health does not. So you have to pick up these flowers when you see them. The game also incorporates lots, and I'm talking lots of platforming. Skye, for some reason, can't swim, so get used to not properly guessing the jumping distance, taking that leap to your death, and just being spit right back out at the beginning of whatever level you are on. My recommendation, save and save often. I feel sometimes the platforming and the surface detection in this game is a bit off. That's bull. The controls here are very loose, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the jumping here is just, I don't know, slightly delayed a bit, causing me to die over and over again in all these jumping areas, and god, there's so many of them. Please stop. The overall gameplay is nothing revolutionary or complex like, say, I don't know, a Legend of Zelda game. The layout of the levels, they're not too vast, but they're made to feel that way with the absence of a map. However, the levels feel pretty straightforward for the most part. The entire game consists of about 25 levels or so. There are no crazy puzzles here, mostly just finding a lever and buttons, or maybe just finding an item to open up a pathway to proceed to the next area. Also, the game in general has a cool feature I feel most games should have nowadays. This screen right here tells you the objectives that you have completed and which ones you are currently on. You also have the options to look at conversations that you've had in the past, in case you forget which NPC told you what earlier in the game that might actually help you out later on. Extremely helpful. If you ever put a game down for a while and come back to it and have no idea what to do, this right here resolves that. Wish more games did that actually. In fact, it needs to become a standard in today's games, because some of them are so massive in terms of gameplay hours that you come back to them after say a week and you have no idea what you were doing. None. The graphics in the game are what you would expect from a game in 2002. I mean, come on. It's 2002. It doesn't look that bad. The overall environments are not too detailed, but everything seems to move at about, I don't know, 30 plus frames a second at all times. The fluidity here is actually surprising, and the cutscenes are not that bad looking at all. What the is that? Then there's the music in the game. Now, I mean, I know people put a lot of work and hard effort into making this music, but there's nothing really worthy about it. It's not bad music though, just nothing memorable. The voice acting also is okay for the most part.
Come back, you stupid Dwentel. Where are you going? Ugh.
Більше за все Орлена любить музику. Я намагаюсь розвеселити її.
He says Orlena loves the melody more than anything in the world. I'm trying to cheer her up. To which he adds the shocking tagline, it doesn't seem to be working.
Darkened Skye was a nice addition to your GameCube or PC library if you were looking for a simple action game either for yourself or maybe for your kids. It isn't gory, doesn't rely too much on shock factor, or over-sexualizes the character at all. That's something I really like. It took the fantasy setting that the Skittles commercials were known for and kind of built a game around the candy that is not too simplistic to turn away the more veteran players while not being too complicated to turn away the younger gamers at the same time. Some of the platforming though, oh god, I'm not gonna lie, it will make you pull your hair out. Some out there might heavily criticize the product advertisement here, especially since it mentions nothing of that sort in the box. Therefore, it probably blindsided gamers back then, but you know what, I don't see an issue with it as long as the gameplay and story created for it is playable and fun. Is Darkened Skye an outstanding title? Heck no, but it brings enough to the table to warrant at least 1 or 2 playthroughs. Plus, it has Skittles. Now, anyone out there ever played this game or saw it on store shelves and, I don't know, maybe passed it up for some other title? Let us know in the comments section, and until next video, keep watching and keep gaming. Oh man, I'm a little bit thirsty. Relax, people. I am eating Raisinets. I'm not gullible enough where a silly game forces me to buy a product. Please.